Why? Am I getting tired of collecting? Well, I don't know if I'm actually collecting anymore as such. I've been collecting physical media for years. I've gone through various formats from VHS right through to the 4K formats a lot of us collect today. But now, it's all starting to feel a little bit too much. I've found myself sinking into a collecting hole. It just feels more like I'm replacing my existing collection. But why is that? We've all done it plenty of times over the years, always heading for that best format available for our favourite movies. But why does it now somehow feel a little bit different? Where was I? Well, to me, it's not necessarily down to the upgrading of the formats. It kind of boils down to its new clothes, the packaging.
Oh my God, Roadhouse!
I mean, we collect the latest and greatest new editions from films all over the world. We've seen the rise of the limited edition and the bubble. And over the last few years, we've seen the rise of the collector's limited edition and the boutique labels. And I mean, what the hell is it? Beer mat.
Yeah, and I thought you'd be bigger.
I've already dropped out of collecting Steelbooks. If you haven't already seen that video, I'll pop a link down in the description below. Swayze. Awesome film, right? But the thing with the Steelbooks, that also started to feel tiring and at times a little bit overwhelming. Now, of course, I still got a couple of Steelbooks knocking around, but the thing that got me was the sheer volume that they started to release. There was that chase to get the limited edition, and that edition, over time, it'd either get re-released or even have a new edition further down the line. There were just too many to keep up with. And when you have that impulse to collect, you have to seriously consider getting all of the variants you can, right? Honestly, it just became kind of tiresome, and it felt a bit of a chore to try and keep up with them all, because you had to make sure you had that latest release. And also, when you work full time and get to my sort of age, those midnight releases, they have a massive impact. But then, we're onto those limited edition boutique labels. They're great, right? Well, really now, I'm no longer that sure.
Keep it real, homies.
These are the things that have changed how I feel about collecting. This is where I start to think that it's becoming tiring. And really, it's for the same kind of reasons that I felt it with the Steelbooks. I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's just so many of them that are now touting that they have the best collector's release. They've got all the new extras. They've got the hard box, they've got the postcards, they've got the stickers, and they've got booklets and whatever else may come with them. Beer mat. I mean, they are great additions, but the feeling that I'm getting more and more, why do I keep replacing things that I already own? These were the last 4 purchases that I made, and all 4 of them, they're all replacing or duplicating a title that I already own. Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, American Pie 2.
Oh wow, jeez.
Roadhouse.
I thought you'd be bigger.
Now all of these were at a slightly premium price, and it was either for the format upgrade or because they were in a limited box. This is all money that I could have been using on other releases, exploring the movies that I haven't seen or that I don't have in the collection. Part of the joy of collecting for me is to dive down that rabbit hole, to go discovering things, or trying things that I've maybe been on the fence about. But still, I'm consistently drawn to replace that thing that I already own because I keep being told that it's the ultimate edition for any fan or collector. How can I not have the thing if I'm a fan? The thing is, very often, I don't need the upgrade. They're the movies that I already had, that very often haven't even been pulled off the shelf for years. Then suddenly, with the hype of a new release, I now want the best version of that movie. The one that I don't regularly watch. Why not just watch that previous Blu-ray version that I have? Are those new extras really worth foregoing something else for? Now, I've started holding back on some of the newer releases, waiting for reviews of the new editions and to check out if it's actually worth the upgrade. And you know what? When I watch side-by-side comparison videos from YouTubers like my buddy Brian at Last Movie Standing, I look at the differences between each format and then I realise, for that movie, I'm looking at you Demolition Man, the difference very often isn't enough to warrant spending the extra and duplicating a title. And now for me pushing back against Arrow Video. Again.
I want you to be nice.
Now in all seriousness, Arrow Video have started releasing, or at least announcing, some Stallone movies. We've had Demolition Man, we've got Cobra coming up, and each of them will cost upwards of £25. But you know what? These are titles that I already have in my Stallone box set. This bad boy, this one right here, it has 5 movies in there. And you can find the links to that box set down in the description just below. And it cost under half of one of the new releases, the limited ones that Arrow are releasing.
I want you to be nice.
For these movies, for me, does it really matter if I have the latest edition? Well, clearly it doesn't. This box, it's not even been unsealed. It's ridiculous that I have a poll to upgrade these movies that I've not been interested in revisiting in the years since I've owned this set. That I paid around $15 for, or around 12 quid. Why am I, or why are we, repeat buying these things? Is it for the new box? Is it for the label that's released them? Really, it's getting kind of silly. These are movies that I already have. Sure, they're not the latest edition, and they're only on Blu-ray, but they're still the same movie. I've been prioritising replacing things over adding new movies that I don't have. A couple of my favourite films this year that I saw in theatres was Sinners and Nosferatu. Another movie that I enjoyed that I'd maybe like was Godzilla -1. None of those have been ordered and placed in my collection. I try to budget myself each month, and somehow I've prioritised getting new editions of movies that are already set in my collection. This is why I'm feeling tired of collecting. Yep, this is a problem, but it's one that I created myself. My need for the latest release of the thing that I already own. The chase of buying these limited edition titles, or the latest format. It's meant that my collection, it doesn't really grow. It just changes format and changes packaging. I'm replacing, not collecting.